Hello everyone. Once again I welcome all of you in the second video on vocabulary. In the first video on vocabulary, I introduced all the aspects and dimension of words. And I stated when we talk about vocabulary, three factors are important. First of them is collection of words, then knowing of words and playing with words. In order to know the words, collect the words and play with the words, I must know various dimensions of each and every word which is a part of my vocabulary. And in this video, we are talking about each and every dimension in detail. And first of them is, I talked briefly in the first video about it, that is active vocabulary and passive vocabulary. Let me explain. Means whatever be the words I have as a learner of second language, I know many words, but there are certain words in my vocabulary I do not use when I speak and when I write. What is the reason? The simple reason is all these words are not on the tip of my tongue. Let me explain what is tip of tongue. Means all words must be tip of your tongue. Means when I speak and when I write, I must remember all these words immediately. That is what the expectation. And this is very small but very important, because this hampers your communication either in written form or in spoken form. Means the first dimension I have worked on it is to make my passive vocabulary into active one. And that is very important. I must remember all the words immediately so that I can communicate smoothly. Then the next dimension when we are talking about words and knowing of words is spelling and pronunciation of words. When we talk about spelling and pronunciation, sometimes we say that I am learned one. Maybe I am in the first year of graduation, second year of graduation, or third year of graduation, or I completed my graduation. What is there to talk about spelling and pronunciation? But let me remind you, small one but very important one. Means we cannot use fully all the words. For example, whatever be the words I remember, can I use all these words in my communication in both forms? Answer is no, I cannot. Simply because there are many words I can easily utter, do pronunciation of these words, but I don't know spelling. There are many words I know spelling, but I don't know correct pronunciation. I mean, there is something lack when I speak. There is something lack when I write. Take an example of spelling. I know the word like lieutenant, bouquet, kernel, autumn, column. all these words, when I speak, I finely and fluently used. But if anybody asks you spelling of all these words, you cannot tell correct spelling. Maybe you can tell spelling of some of the words, but not all the words that we have taken example of. Means I use in my speaking the word lieutenant, but I don't know spelling of the word that is L-I-E-U-T-E-N-A-N-T. I know words bouquet, a bunch of flower. But do I know correct spelling? And the answer is no. Because the correct spelling of this word is B-O-U-Q-U-E-T. Don't know. The problem lies here. When we talk about communication, this is the problem where we have to work. When we talk about pronunciation, many spelling I know, or any learner of English knows spelling. Spelling of development, pronunciation, concepts, but sometimes pronunciation is different. For pronunciation, maybe we say pronunciation. So something is a lack in spoken form. If I don't know the correct pronunciation, the idea is here, whatever be the words are part of your vocabulary, initially we must know spelling and correct pronunciation of all these words. That is the first requirement. Then the third dimension we have to discuss in this video, that is a part of speech. Again, many doubts. What is there to study in part of speech? What will happen if I know part of speech of words? But let me remind you, when I talked in the first video, I said I must know how to play with words. And playing with words is related to part of speech, like pronunciation and spelling. Means, take an example of the word person. This is a single word and the part of speech of it is noun. But I can use many words out of it, of different part of speech. I can say personal, it is my personal matter. Personally, I will guide you personally. Personality, he has a good personality. Personification, personalize. So many words I can make out of the single words of different part of speech. Means when I say personal, it is an adjective. Personally, it is an adverb. Personalize, it is a verb. Personality, again noun. Personification, again noun. Personify, verb. So out of single word, if I think a little bit, I can make many words. Means suppose that I have 100 words as a part of my vocabulary and I achieve These techniques, out of that 100 words, I can make 500 or 600 words. This is essential for the communication. How to play with words. How to make words differently out of the one root of the word. So part of speech is very important, so that I can use many words finely in my communication. One example again I can take and I will proceed. There are two words, effect and affect. So effect is noun. But when I use as a verb, it is affect. Part of speech, two different, I must know, so that I can use finely these words in my communication. Then the next dimension of word is synonyms. So many words are there. We must know synonyms of many words, but we have to think carefully about synonyms. And what is that careful thinking? Means I know happiness, pleasure, joy, delight, glee, cheerfulness. All these are synonyms. But there is a difference. The idea is I can increase my vocabulary, or I can know my words when I understand the similarity and differences between two words among many words. Means somewhere these words are similar in meaning, but there is a difference. When I say I am happy, is different from I am cheerful. And this difference is necessary along with the similarity. The idea is, from synonym point of view, we have to study the words which are part of your vocabulary. Then the collocation is the last dimension I will discuss in this video, and the remaining dimension we will discuss on the next video. What is collocation? If you ask any question about collocation, that what is this collocation, there is no specific answer, or I can say there is no rule. But the combination of words which is followed, or combination which are followed by convention. And if I study English language, I must know collocation of English language. Take an example, commit a suicide. Maybe sometime as a part of translation we say do suicide. We can understand, but the correct combination when we think about collocation is commit suicide, commit mistake, valuable advice, not great advice. Great advice is a wrong combination from collocation point of view. Then take bath, not do bath. So this combination, in order to enrich your communication on words level, we must know. But let me remind you, if you ask why this communication, why this combination is followed, then there is no reason that I can tell you. Only the answer I will give, this is followed by convention. But this is very important. Simply because when I say do suicide, listener from your locality can understand it, because somewhere it is related to the translation of Marathi language. But on international level, that cannot be understood properly. Great advice become different one instead of valuable advice. So I must know collocation. And all this dimension, whatever we discussed of words, are very important to enrich your communication of English language. The remaining we will discuss in the next video. Thank you very much.